Very big part of all of this are the women whose courage has reshaped the conversation around accountability and transparency. After years of being overlooked, they now stand at the forefront of this historic push for the full release of the files. Lisa Phillips and Sharlene Rochard join me now. They are both survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, and they are big advocates of this whole push. I thank you both for being with me today. Sharlene, I know you were born here in Canada, so it's good to have your voice here for our Canadian audience. I want to begin by asking how both of you feel this morning after what happened in the Senate last night. It seemed almost inconceivable just a few days ago, really, that there would be so much support for the release of these files. So, Lisa, I'll start with you and then go to you, Sharlene.
Probably the best day of my life, well, one of the best days of my life, to feel seen, validated, and heard for the first time that we've been fighting this fight. For me, it's been almost 6 years, and for many of the survivors, it's been decades. So it just was overwhelming, and it just felt really, really good to have so many people in Congress behind us.
Sharlene, were you surprised?
Well, we kind of expected it because we did have a lot of people standing behind us. But as we were waiting there and we just saw 5 votes come in, 10 votes come in, we were like, oh my gosh, are we actually going to get all of these votes? And then all of a sudden they all came in except for one. And it was just extreme relief. Like, we feel like now we can move forward, and we've been working so hard. It's been 5 administrations, almost 30 years of fighting this. And this is amazing. It's an amazing moment in history, to be honest.
So when you hear President Trump saying that this is a Democratic hoax, what goes through your mind? What would you like to say to him?
It made us fight harder.
How come?
I want to say that this is not a hoax. I mean, obviously we're real. We're here. We have a voice. If it was a hoax, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have been fighting this. We reported this back almost 30 years ago to the FBI. I mean, this has been going on forever.
Lisa, do you think that the president, if he signs it today, and we're not quite sure when that will happen, do you think that he owes you and the other survivors an apology?
I'm not sure he thinks that, but I think it would feel really, really good for us to stand there with him as he signs it, just to, again, give us the validation and to know that, that he's on our side. That would be nice.
Sharlene, do you have any thoughts around the president speaking or meeting with you?
It would be nice if he acknowledged us for the first time and not calling us a hoax.
Yeah. And I know, Lisa, you were friends with Virginia Giuffre, and watching some of the coverage of this last night and her family and how emotional they were about this moment. What do you think Virginia is thinking right now? What would she say to all of you who have fought the hard fight in making this happen?
Oh, Virginia would be so proud. This is what she was fighting for. She was fighting for other survivors. She was fighting for all of those kids at home, just protection of our kids, our children. So many of us are mothers. We just think about our children. Our children are the same age as we were, back then. So it's something that we do. We fight together for just the future of our children.
The sisterhood, if I can call it that, is pretty amazing. And we're just looking at some pictures of all of you holding photos of yourselves as when you met Jeffrey Epstein. Such a powerful image. And I'm just wondering why, Sharlene, you wanted to do that. What message were you trying to send?
Well, when you look at us now, we are adult women, and it's a bit more powerful to see what we looked like at that time when we were abused. So it's just a more powerful statement to show this. And also, we all have children, and our children are the ages that we were in those pictures. So it just brings it home even more.
Lisa, are you confident that all of the files will be released? There are still some loopholes that could happen.
Well, just to be clear, we are fighting for the entirety of all files. Everything logged, everything videoed, just all the information, so also survivors can connect the dots of our past. Some of us are just confused of what happened to us back then.
Really?
Oh yeah, we're still don't know. We're still finding out more information as survivors come forward, as they bring dates, as they bring pictures of us. It's like, wow, we're still finding out new information as we connect the dots. You know, Jeffrey sent you to this school. Jeffrey, you were on this island at this time. Oh, I was there too. You know, so it's a joint effort. It's hundreds of us. And so every one of us is confused of what happened to us back then, because that was part of, you know, his grooming and brainwashing and his control, that we really didn't know what was going on. We didn't even know back then that we were trafficked until we talked to other girls that were sent to the same person for the same audition, you know, things like that. So it was always a very confusing thing. That's why I suppressed it for 15 years. And I'm only getting answers in the last few days, few months, few years. Yeah.
So Sharlene, then to Lisa's point, are you concerned about being re-traumatized once the files come out? How do you deal with that?
Well, I hope that the files are used in a way that supports survivors, and that we're not sensationalized. The focus should be always on safety, healing, and preventing this from happening again. So I don't think we'll be re-traumatized, but I do think that it'll be a lot of healing as long as they're released in the right way.
And my final question is to you, Lisa, and this is something that I've heard asked many times, and now I have the opportunity to ask you. Why don't all of you guys just name names? Why don't you spill what you know instead of waiting for these documents to be released?
Well, I don't think the public is aware that anyone involved who's a survivor has been naming names to our attorneys, to the FBI, to the proper authorities for decades. And the names are out there. Virginia Giuffre released like over 30 names. The names are out there. And when I called to survivors to say, let's come together, let's put together our own list. I mean, there isn't really a list. You know, there's people that we saw there and people that we know we were abused by. But there's a whole trafficking ring, and there's a whole there's so many people that they need to connect the dots. There's just a lot of work that has to be done. And so of course we're helping, but I mean, that is the job of the DOJ. They have all the information, they have the entirety of all the files, they have all the evidence, and so it's their job to release the names.
I can't thank you enough, both of you, for coming on and speaking with us today. Your courage is so admirable. Lisa Phillips and Sharlene Rochard, all the best to you as we continue to follow this story.
Thank you.
Thank you.